going on, everybody? GZTV back with yet another Euphoria episode review. This is the 7th episode of Season 1. I'm going to be going through the plot, so spoiler alert. Yes, I'm going to be talking about what happened. A lot of channels don't do that, and I kind of respect them for it, but I expect you guys to watch the show along with me so you can come through, I can recap the plot, and tell you guys kind of what I think. This is a very, again, I say this a lot about Euphoria, it's a very discussion-invoking show. It talks about a lot of issues that are pretty relevant to my stage in life. You know, I'm a couple years older than the characters in the episode, but eventually they're going to catch up to me, right? This is an hour long. This is an hour episode. This is one of the chunkier episodes of the whole thing, and I think it definitely deserved that. There's quite a bit that happened. A lot of crazy happenings. 7th episode. Yeah, let's see. You know, Rue gets depressed and watches 22 straight episodes of a British reality show. That's kind of Rue's side of the story, showing the effects of depression, kind of going over that as a topic, a subject matter for the episode. It's kind of sad to watch, honestly. A British reality show, that's what you're spending. I'd rather spend 22 hours watching Breaking Bad, but again, for the YouTube channel, I usually take it slow with those type of things. Jules goes to visit an old friend. It gets kind of crazy. There's some crazy scenes, some crazy directing in the show, and I actually kind of appreciate it. Cassie looks for advice in the aftermath of Halloween night. She cheated, but I don't think McKay knows just yet. Should she tell him the truth? She's kind of questioning that. She's like, I should probably tell him the truth, and no one's like, everyone else is like, are you fucking kidding? I don't know why Maddie's talking. She's in the most scandalous relationship of the entire show. So she doesn't really have much room to talk. She's lied. She's done a lot of bad things. So I wouldn't take advice from Maddie, in all honesty. She is still hanging out with her abusive boyfriend, which is nuts. The episode begins with a look at Cassie's childhood. So this time, you know, every single episode has highlighted a character's childhood. We've done everybody but Cassie. I think there might be, I would say Tyler would be the last episode. They might go through Tyler's childhood. I wouldn't be all that surprised. Her potential rise to ice skating fame fizzles out because of financial issues with Gus Howard, her father, before we see Cassie growing into a teenager. This is one of the sadder childhood ones, like intros to the show. Here we see her good looks change everyone's perceptions of her. People don't see her as like a normal person anymore. They just see her as this girl that wants sex and a girl that's just looking for a relationship. Family relations begin to break down and Gus falls off the wagon, even though everyone but the mom didn't want him to fall out of the wagon. He was a pretty admired guy. He was a very handsome guy. He flirted with a lot of people. Just kind of some details on him. This catches us up with present-day Cassie, who takes a pregnancy test and stares into space, shocked. She's pregnant. Cassie's pregnant. She feels like her life is over. Teenage pregnancy is never good in the world, and we're probably going to be getting into the topics of that in this episode. Just another topic of the many that they kind of discuss in this show. Tyler is in prison for what happens to Maddie, which definitely enrages me. I did not want that to happen to Tyler. He was he did rape her, but he didn't choke her. It's a lot worse than what Nate has done in his life, so I don't know, I'm kind of on the fence. I can't really feel sympathy for a rapist, but at the same time, Nate's definitely the bigger enemy in this situation. While Rue goes on a mission to find out exactly what happened, sensing there's more to the tale than meets the eye, making reference to Morgan Freeman. It was very clever. I love that she did that. She's trying to get on Nate's case. She doesn't want this man, Tyler, to go into jail. She wants Nate to go to jail. He's a very scandalous person. He's a very shitty person. He's a douchebag. Not a lot of people like him but Maddie and his friends. She visualizes herself and Lexi as noir detectives, right? Coming up with theories regarding Nate and Jules, kind of trying to connect the dots. They kind of figured that Jules probably ratted. Cassie tells the other girls that she's going to confess everything that happened with Daniel to McKay. That's not a good idea, really. If you want to be a moral person, sure, go for it. But in the grand scheme of things, if you want to keep this relationship afloat, yeah, I would keep it out. Maddie warns her not to before Kat chimes in, stating that Maddie has no business giving advice to Cassie when her own boyfriend is so horrible. Now, I'm with Cassie here. She pretty much loses the conversation. Maddie wins the day pretty much here because Kat has a breakdown, but I definitely agree with Kat. I mean, I don't know why Maddie is talking in the first place. Maddie curses Kat out and ridicules Kat's newfound personality, prompting Kat to leave in a fit of tears. At least she's not dating abusive people. There's a lot of things she could have came back with. Cassie asks Lexi later that night what she would do, and her sister advises her not to say anything. Of course, Lexi hasn't really been in a relationship. She's kind of like the virgin loser. Guys, I'm a virgin too. Don't worry. The virgin loser. She's kind of painted as the virgin loser in the show. But she's a smart person. I mean, she's going to have a great life. People like that stay out of the lustful activities, they have great lives. Like, Lexi's the good girl, man, and there's nothing wrong with that. Rue has trouble adjusting to Rick, Leslie's new boyfriend, and after a pretty awkward conversation between the two, Jules and Rue's relationship continues to sour. Yeah, it sucks. Rue is pretty depressed. Jules goes away from her. She feels like the relationship is slipping. Obviously, she doesn't like her mom's new boyfriend. There's that whole topic. There's that whole thing that some people are probably relating to as we speak. The new boyfriend on the block after the loved daddy, the guy that gave birth to you, leaves. I mean, that's terrible for Rue to have to go through. She's already been a drug addict. She's already bounced in and out of it. But yeah, Rue watches an obscene amount of Love Island, unmotivated to leave her bedroom. Yeah. At Fez's apartment, she comes across pill bottles and hallucinates them speaking to her, begging her to take them. She's very, very, very tempted to take them, but she doesn't. Good for Rue. She manages to resist, but instead falls into a suffocating, endless loop of depression. So she needs drugs to get out of here, but obviously she knows drugs are bad, so she doesn't want to take drugs, but it's the key to getting her out of her depression. Meanwhile, Jules gets on a train and heads off to meet an old friend in the city, TC. So, Jules, like we said before, the show has mentioned it, her moving. She is the new girl on the block. She may not seem like it anymore. She's really put her name out there. She's done a lot in this town to really make you think that she's no longer the new girl. But trust me, she is the new girl still. She needs to go see her old friends. She definitely made some friends in her hometown. She goes and does that. Overwhelmed with happiness, she hangs out of the sunroof while they drive through the city without a care in the world. This is kind of her stress reliever, going to see her old people. Rue, I guess, relieving stress by watching. Well, she's depressed. She can't really get out of the state. Jules is having a great time. Jules meets one of TC's friends, Anna, and the two put on makeup together while discussing their lives. It's really cool how you can meet someone and become friends with them that quick. Kind of exemplified in this episode. The three of them eventually decide to go clubbing. It's probably not a good idea, but, they're teenagers, I guess. High as a kite, Jules debates texting Rue before kissing Anna in the club, before the scene cuts back to Rue, who continues to have issues with her kidneys. So she's not going to the bathroom. Like, the episode's called The Trials and Tribulations of Peeing During Depression, or whatever the episode's called. She doesn't want to get up and go to the bathroom. She feels too lazy. She feels too depressed to even do anything. Of course, eat, but not go to the bathroom. Rue, why wouldn't you just go to the bathroom? She says she would if she's wondering the same thing. Her depression's kind of possessing her body, and she can't really do anything. So, her kidney issues are because her bladder is like, come on, let's go to the bathroom, please. But yeah, Jules pretty much cheats on Rue. I wouldn't say they're in a relationship yet, but yes, just yet, but things are steering towards that. And maybe not anymore. Nate, clad in shimmering makeup, arrives at the club and apologizes to Jules for everything. That's ridiculous. Why, did Jules actually ask Nate to come to the club? Nate shows up. This is a very dangerous situation because all Jules has is her friend and some random person to protect her, and they're probably not going to protect her. This guy's a douchebag, However, as the two begin kissing, it's evident that Jules is simply hallucinating in the place of Anna, and the two engage in oral sex. So yeah, it wasn't Nate. I thought it wasn't at first. I was like, there's no way. Cassie does eventually tell McKay she's pregnant, and the two discuss the effects this will have on their future. McKay's obviously like, oh my god, I'm going to college. I got football and stuff. I can't really focus on a child. That's why you wait till after college, buddy, to go crazy. He hit it raw. It's kind of his fault. So yeah, Cassie tells her she's pregnant. She's pregnant. That's a big weight on her chest, but she still has semi-affairs going on. Kate is an uneasy webcam conversation with someone using a black train and a voice disorder. Obviously, she's getting paid like $300 She's getting paid, what is it, like $10 a minute to do that, which is insane. But I would click off and probably refund them their money. I'm not gonna lie to you, that's creepy. Nate and Maddie then show up at Milk, the place that Fez works at. Fez asks Nate to stop going after Rue and squares up to him, prompting Nate to set his sights on the drug dealer. I like this. I like Fez standing up for Rue and Jewel. It was a great moment. Unblinking, Fez tells him if he keeps messing with Rue and her friends, he'll kill him. I mean, he will. Fez is about that life. He's dealt with some crazy-ass people. He's become a crazy person himself. However, later that evening, the police get a tip-off from Nate and arrives at Fez's while he and Ashtray do their best to flush all their gear. So if you're trying to tempt Nate, if you try to even come in contact in a bad way, if you come at him wrong, he's going to snitch on you. He's a little bitch, honestly. Nate's a bitch. No one should like that character. He is the most hateable character, and the creators, the writers, all that, they do a great job at picturing him as the most fucking annoying character on the show. He literally snitches. So Ashtray, the littler kid, and they're like flushing it down the toilet. Rue is found by Leslie lying on the floor, who helps her up and bathes her. So Leslie's concerned. I don't know how after all this time Leslie didn't realize her daughter was going through depression. She didn't come out of her room but like 1 or 2 times. It was kind of a weird dynamic. Jules texts Rue, telling her that she missed her. So yeah, the relationship, you could say, is back on the right foot. It's just that Jules cheated on Rue already, and they haven't even started the relationship. I don't know. It's just kind of, you're getting shot in the foot before you even charged a guy, pretty much. It's like you're on a standoff with the police, you're a criminal, and before even charging at them, they just shoot you in the foot. You know what I mean? You don't even get a chance. But yeah, it's a pretty good show. It's a pretty good episode. When reality TV begins to feel like work, like final season of Mad Men work, you know you're depressed. Yeah, that's funny. You know, Rue watching Love Island lying in bed was a big moment. Let's see. Fast go to... Alright, I think I'm done. I gotta get to weekly track roundup and then go upstairs.